What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be and welcome to Marvel's Avengers. In today's video, I want to give you guys some of my early thoughts and impressions of the closed beta thus far from someone who you can consider like a Marvel superfan. Like, I grew up collecting Marvel comics. I got binders full of Marvel series cards, the movies, the games, and how much money have I wasted collecting digital PNGs of my favorite Marvel characters in gacha games. So when you present me the opportunity to play some of my favorite heroes in a AAA atmosphere as a live service game that's going to continually upgrade and add more and more of my favorite characters, like I don't know, She-Hulk, Daredevil, Silver Surfer, Ghost Rider. Can you imagine Ghost Rider in this game? I am 100% this game's a target audience. So I say all that to say this. All the things that I'm going to be saying in this video, do know that they're coming from a place of love, all right? Do know that I want this game to be as good as it possibly can be. But so far in the closed beta, I don't have a lot of faith that this game is going to be ready. Do realize that this game is going to launch in 2 weeks. And all of the issues that are plaguing the game thus far, from the performance, the frames per second issues, the crashes, the streamlining, the quality of the non-existent quality of life, the matchmaking issues, I have zero faith that all of these issues are going to be magically ironed out by the time in 2 weeks that launch happens. It's just not going to happen. Call me jaded, and I could be jaded, absolutely. But maybe I've just seen way too many MMO launches. Maybe I've just been around too long. But every single time I've seen a game that's had, let's just say, an underperforming beta, there has always been a group of people that said, don't worry, there's gonna be a secret build that the developers are working on. Don't worry, there's gonna be a day 1 patch that fixes everything. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen that happen. Like, I have never seen that actually be a thing that has come true. It's always been the same closed beta client that we've had, maybe just a few tweaks here and there. Look at this guy on the sled trying to be a jerk. Maybe a few tweaks here and there, but for the most part, when you have a beta and a launch 2 weeks out, you are playing the final game. This is what we're gonna see in global launch. Like I said, there's gonna be a few tweaks here and there. The developers are working diligently to fix as much as they possibly can. Do know that this game is an absolute crunch. Like, right now, this game is in crunch mode right now. They're trying their best to fix as much as they can. And shout out to the developers for trying their best, but they should have never been in this position in the first place. All right, they should have never been in this position. Let me try to get out of the way here. Look at all these flying guys trying to just make my life just completely miserable here. But they should have never been in this crunch period in the first place. They should have absolutely have all the time they needed to make this game great. But when you make a closed beta with the deadline of a release that close, dude, there's no way. There's just no way you're gonna be able to fix all the things that are gonna arrive from closed beta. And we've seen it time and time again. I'm very confused on why people are thinking that this time it's gonna be different. This beta is gonna miraculously have this mythical build by the time it comes out. I have zero faith. I would love to be proven wrong, because like I said, I want this game to be good. I just don't have any confidence that it will be. If you want to know what type of system I'm running to give you these awful frames per second that you see on your screen right now, but also know that I am also recording the game as I'm doing this. It does run a little bit better when I'm not recording, but I am using a Ryzen 7 2700. My graphics card is an RX 5600 XT, 32 gigabytes of RAM. I do not have the game loaded on my SSD, but that will give you a little bit more frames per second, so do keep that in mind. But performance across the board, if you look around the Steam reviews, Reddit, Discord, many people across a wide range of systems are having a lot of issues making the game look good and perform well. And I don't understand why. Like, I love how destructible the world is. I love how you feel like a superhero. You come in guns blazing and things destroy all the way around you. When you want to talk about power fantasy, this game has it in droves. But I'm very confused on why they weren't, while at the same time, and now, of course, I don't know how development works. Let me be clear. I don't know how game development works. But I feel like why, when they were making the game so destructible and so interactive, why wasn't the FPS a paramount of concern while they were doing all of it at the same time? You know what I mean? It just feels like it's just a missed opportunity. Where is my team? Let me make sure my team is in the right place. All right, here we go. So, FG, with all that being said, I am sure you have canceled your pre-order and you recommend no one play this game. Well, not necessarily. All right, not necessarily. Like I said, I'm ripping the closed beta because the closed beta deserves to be ripped on. It deserves to be pushed back. I don't think the game should release in 2 weeks. It will be. I do think the game should be held back. I think they would get, once again, they would get a ton more time to work on the game, and the amount of goodwill that they would get from the community would just be insane, right? I do not think this game is ready from prime time. However, I'm still going to be playing the game. And the reason why I'm still going to be playing the game, and I'm going to go through the growing pains that I know this game is going to go through, that it's going to endure, is because at the core, on paper, I think that this game is an absolute 10 out of 10 when it comes to what I think they're trying to pull off. The execution is not there yet, all right? The execution is definitely not there. But I feel like once they do iron out the performance issues, the crashes, the matchmaking, the stream, the menus, like there's a lot of, once they start ironing out all that stuff and we get into the flow of the game of adding new characters, like, dude, if this game stayed the same, right? Let me kind of show you where I'm coming from. If this game absolutely stayed the same, right? And all they did was just add new characters, I would be hooked. I would love to use Scarlet Witch out here, or Cable, or well, I don't know if they're gonna add like X-Men characters. We know we ain't getting no Spider-Man characters, but how about Sony people? Could you imagine using Carnage and Venom and all, like, Miles Morales and all these awesome Marvel characters in a world like this with graphics like this once the performance gets ironed out? That part right there gives me hope for the future. So I'm willing to go through the janky growing pains that I know this game is going to be going through during launch. I'm willing to be here for it because I think after a few months, the game is going to be in a much better state, and it's going to be what the developer hoped it could be at launch. At launch, it ain't going to be ready. Like, let's be 100%. And if you're not like a Marvel super fan, I absolutely don't recommend playing this game at launch. There's just not enough here. There's just not. You're not going to be happy, right? The thing that kind of pushes people like me over the edge to continue playing a game that's as janky as this one is the fact that it has the Marvel IP. Nobody would be talking about this game if it didn't have the Marvel IP. We all know that, but it does. And just the thought of this game actually being stable with our favorite Marvel characters is enough for me to jump onto that ride and hope for the best. Hope that eventually it gets there. But day one, it ain't gonna get there. No way. No way. Dude, how did I miss that from a mile away? So that's that. Like I said, I don't recommend that you guys go out and pre-order the game or anything like that, but I'm gonna be here for the ride. I can't wait to see what kind of characters are added to the game. I can't wait to see that hopefully, oh, dude, you want some more of this? I can't wait to see this game eventually get the frames per second issues ironed out. I can't wait. And then, of course, the co-op, dude. Right now, I'm just doing me and the AI, which is not a great experience. The whole reason to play a game like this, I feel like, is being able to play with some of your friends. So once again, gets ironed out, I am here for it, dude. I'm absolutely here for it. So that's that. So what about Black Widow? What are we doing here, FG? Well, let me kind of show you what Black Widow is all about, right? Let's actually talk about the game here for a second and not just future aspirations of the game. So here's Black Widow. I have basic attacks, which are my light attacks, very, very straightforward. I also have heavy attacks, which can allow me to break shields. I have a dodge, as you guys can see here. I can also use my grappling hook to grapple towards enemies. I can also do kind of like a travel ability where I look very reminiscent to what Spider-Man would look like. I also have some Devil May Cry guns here as well that I can hold down to charge up and release. Or I can switch to like miniguns, like if I have a bunch of enemies on the screen and I just want to let loose a clip on them. And the really cool, interesting thing about Black Widow is that she has a gimmick, and you can kind of see under my HP bar. So my HP bar is at the top of the screen in white. Under that, there's a bar that's in red. So the more that I hit people and not get hit in return, the red bar builds up. And the bigger that red bar is, the more damage I do. So Black Widow is all about stick, move, parry, dodge gameplay. The more agile she is, the more evasive she is, the more damage she does. And that's super interesting. I know a lot of people have been ripping the game, calling it like a button masher and things of that nature. I don't think they've used Black Widow. Black Widow, literally her entire kit is about being as evasive as possible, using dodges and parries and her grappling hook to bounce around the map, making sure that you never get hit, because as soon as you get hit, you lose that bar. So the people that kind of call this game a button masher, I don't think they played Black Widow. I can't even understand why you would say that if you actually use Black Widow, because she is a lot of fun to use, and I can't even, the skill ceiling on a character like this, I think is gonna be massive, because you can't just sit around and button mash with Black Widow. Like, you can't do it. All right, let's go ahead and get some of these guys here. Little damage from a distance. Dude, I hate the performance of this game though. I do have the FPS in the upper right hand corner if you guys haven't noticed already. So right now, 40 frames per second, just not a good experience at all. Hulk's not doing anything. Come on, Hulk. Sometimes the AI gets stuck. Like, there's a lot of things that this game would just absolutely benefit from being in the oven a little bit longer, right? Just a little bit longer. Dude, but I do love me some Black Widow action. Look at the bouncing from enemy to enemy. And you see my red bar filling up here. It's just so much fun, dude. When the game is working, and this is once again why I'm keeping my pre-order. When the game is working, when the game is firing in all cylinders, you see the potential. You see what this game could be. It ain't there yet, but you see it, right? It's off there in the distance. I would just be happy to eventually be able to turn my graphics up a little bit more. I think the game, right, like if you turn the game on full graphic splendor, right, everything on max, this game looks insanely good. Of course, I'm playing on PC. There's a texture pack as well that makes the game look really, really good. Come on, dudes, give me another 20 frames per second. I know that's a lot, and I'm asking for a lot, but dude, this is an $80 game for the deluxe. I gotta have a rock solid 60 frames per second. This 44 don't cut it for me. And as you guys saw, it constantly dips as well. But once the game is actually firing on all cylinders, you see how good it feels, how fun it is, especially if you're playing with some friends. The game feels really, really good. And like I said, I know I'm biased. I love hero collectors, so being able to just use my favorite heroes is already a lot for me. I can't wait for some drop in, drop out. Dude, calm down, my friend. My goodness. This dude is a beast. It's time to go beast mode myself. Bring out the Billy Kane stick. Look at him manhandling Iron Man. That ain't cool. I can't wait for this to look better. Right now I'm at what, 31 frames per second? On my system, right? My system ain't like the best system in the world. It's not. I just got killed, but that's okay. A little embarrassing for a YouTube video, but you do what you do. My system is not like super top of the line, but I deserve 60 frames per second, at least. Hit him with the combo. Looks like a mess because we're all on top of each other, but that's all right. Sometimes you gotta jump somebody. Sometimes you gotta jump people.
Nice work, Avengers.
Thank you very much.
It is below your current.
All right, there's a treasure chest over there. And of course, a little bit later in the video, I'll show you what the upgrade system and stuff like that look like as well. Oh, I see you from a distance. But for the rest of this video, let's just do some gameplay, right? Like I said, to kind of recap everything I said here, I don't think the game is ready for prime time. I have zero optimism that this game is going to be a magically different game in 2 weeks. No way. But I'm going to be here for the growing pains because I absolutely do love Marvel, and just being able to use some of my favorite characters is a dream come true, dude. Like I said, I'm this game's target audience. I can't wait to see like Black Panther, right? I already talked about Ghost Rider, Scarlet Witch, Quake. All the Sony fans are gonna get, I'm just thinking about it makes me angry. All the Sony fans gonna get Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom, Green Goblin, Gwenpool. Dude, and once again, none of this stuff has been confirmed. I'm just like, when I think about this game long term, the limits are endless, right? Moon Knight, Cable, Bishop, Psylocke, Cyclops, Jean Grey, you just naming off X-Men now, FG. Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, Invisible Woman, now you're just doing Fantastic Four. Hey, Havoc, Nova, dude, like that part alone blows my mind. It really does. Like I said, Daredevil a little bit earlier as well. Hawkeye has been confirmed. She-Hulk. How about Squirrel Girl? How about Iron Fist? I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it. I really am. All right, let's go defeat the Warbot. So we're gonna end this video off. Well, not yet, because we gotta do the upgrades as well. Actually, we can do the upgrades now, and then we'll fight the last boss. So just like in any brawler combat style game, you start off with some very simple talents unlocked at the very beginning. But as you level up and as you unlock more and more skills, you get way more variety available to you in your arsenal, right? So right now, you start off with, just like in any other game, right? You have a light combo chain, right? You have a light combo chain that takes place in the air. But then as you level up, you get like a hold attack. After that, you get attacks that you can only perform once you do a dodge. After that, you get more and more abilities that you can only use while you're sprinting. And what you kind of see as you play through the game and you unlock more and more skills is that you just naturally just become more and more fancy with the way that you approach combat. And that's just the light attack combo tree, right? If you move over here to the heavy attack combo tree, once again, just like in any other brawler game, it starts off simple, right? You have a heavy attack chain that you do on the ground, but then you have some mid-air attacks which knock the enemies down. Or maybe you're surrounded by enemies. So instead of doing that attack, instead of just mashing the buttons like a crazy person, you do the impact grenade to kind of give yourself a little bit of space there, right? You have abilities which allow you to kind of close the distance. Maybe you just knocked an enemy away and you want to kind of get closer to them again so you can start doing combos again. You have mid-air slams which are designed to break shields. What do we have here again? Another attack that can kind of knock enemies back to kind of get them away from you. So depending on what you're doing is going to kind of dictate what tool you bring out of your arsenal, what tool you bring out of your tool belt to really kind of maximize the damage. We also have ranged attacks. So you saw me do a lot of like dual pistol action. I can go full auto with my miniguns there. I can do charge up attacks, and there's still more. I can switch to, what is this, like a single high caliber pistol as well. Once again, depending on what I'm trying to do in combat, I have a tool that I can kind of switch up the way that I approach it. But I guess, once again, sure, you could, in theory, kind of ignore all that and just not do it. But I guess that, like I said, that's really on the player on how you want to approach combat. Me, I like the stylish nature of it. I think it looks really cool to be able to use all of these things in this, like I said, this dance with the enemy where you are just kind of bouncing around the battlefield, using combos appropriately. I think it brings a lot to combat, and it's something that you actually have to kind of play to really feel how good it feels, right? You gotta feel it to know how good it feels, especially when you combine every little thing that I just showed you in the skill tree. You combine it with Black Widow's inherent ability to do more damage the less she gets hit. So that really starts to bring the individual player skill into question, kind of weaving all of these abilities together in an attempt to do the most amount of damage as you possibly can while also simultaneously not getting hit. That's when it starts to get good, my friend. And that's where the criticisms of this just being a button masher really start to fall flat for me. The more you play the game, the more the game gives you tools for it not to be a button masher. So this game has been getting a little bit of flack when it comes to the gear system here. It doesn't really bother me at all. So gear doesn't show up on your character. It's not like Injustice or anything like that, right? Which is a little unfortunate. So when you get gear, they're just basically stat sticks. So that is a bummer for some people. I played Marvel Heroes before, so I'm kind of used to that. Injustice and DC do it for some reason. They do a really good job. Marvel, not so much. I guess they just don't want their heroes to look any different than people imagine them from their comics. So, but unlike Marvel Heroes, because in Marvel Heroes, you could basically have a screen full of Silver Surfers, right? You could have 50 Silver Surfers on your screen. This game, no. So in the matchmaking, if you say that you want to use Black Widow, the team that you're going to get assigned is going to be a team that does not have a Black Widow. You cannot have two Black Widows on one team. So this is where a little bit later on, when the game does finally come out and we get quick play, because right now the game does not have quick play, which makes matchmaking, the bugs in matchmaking even worse, because the time to get into matchmaking is bad. Like the loading times, the looking at the map, the going through the ship sequence, the loading screens, it makes everything worse. Hopefully when quick plays in the game, that will allow you to kind of bounce in and out of matches a little bit easier. So if you just want to quickly jump into the game as the Incredible Hulk, you just hit quick play, say you want to use Incredible Hulk, and then you're in. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping that that's going to be as good as they say it's going to be. All right, so we are fighting the Warbot, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a multifaceted boss. As you guys can see, the boss has some weak points here. So we're going to be destroying these vents to make the boss overheat. Very, very straightforward. Your AI does an okay job of trying to get it done as well. Now that we've kind of defeated the vents on its feet, we're going to go over here to the head and also beat it up as well. So there we go. Easy clap. And you can see the Warbot's HP at the very bottom of the screen. It kind of gets some of its second wind back here. And then we're going to kind of look around. It'll show us here in a second where the new weak points are. Let's give it a little bit of time here. Just kind of evade a few things there. No big deal. All right. Got it. Oh, they're on the side now. Hold on. Yep, yep. Telegraphs. I played MMOs before. I know what I'm doing. Go ahead and blow these up here. Very, very nice. Now, let's talk about button mashing for a second, because you can button mash in this game, right? But I like people that call it just a button masher. Like I said, I don't think they played Black Widow. The combat, in a sense, reminds me of Devil May Cry, not the combat system itself. All right, chill. But it reminds me of Devil May Cry. You can absolutely beat Devil May Cry without being super stylish, right? You don't have to do really stylish combos in Devil May Cry. Trying to get like SS style points, you don't have to. But it's more fun if you do. It's more fun if you take advantage of all of those cool combos that you're able to pull off. So yes, could you, I guess in theory, only just do the most basic attacks possible? Sure, but I don't understand why you would do that, because that's like part of the fun of like trying to be stylish and trying to show off, I think. But that's kind of my thoughts there. And I don't even have her full skill tree unlocked as well. And I'm not even, to be honest, I'm not even really doing a good job of showing off Black Widow. I'm not really using a lot of the dodge, parry, and evasion tactics to their highest level. And I think that would be like an argument that people would say, well, FG, if you didn't have to use it, then you don't have to use it. True, once again. So back to the Devil May Cry example there. You don't have to be that flashy if you don't want to be, but that doesn't mean that the game is just a button masher if you can beat the game by just button mashing. If that makes sense, I don't know. All right. So let's get this other section here down. Easy clap. Dude, I'm about to die. So all these little green things on the ground here are little HP globes. Now, if you were actually playing with real people, this would be so much easier, because sometimes the AI forgets what it's doing and they don't really do a good job. I heard a lot of people say really positive things about the AI. I mean, it's alright. It's alright. Let's go Super Saiyan mode, shall we? Break some more of those down. Make sure we get out of that. While I'm waiting out of the telegraph, switch to range. And on to the next foot. I'll get out of that, thank you. This might be the last one. If we can break all these and do some damage. Once again, kind of power up my meter with my ranged attacks. All right. Make my way downtown. Avoid the telegraphs. Do my dodge, retaliation attack. All right, and now I think the rest of them are up top. Yes. So let's go ahead and scale the beast. Like, dude, this is fun. I am all about this. This is the visual pornography that I talk about here. Just give me some more frames per second. So I can really get down on this visual porn. All right, see how the AI is all down here? They're not doing a good job. So yeah, using real people, that's gonna be the ticket. AI, not great. All the enemies are up here, and the AI is down there doing literally nothing. So yeah, not quite ready for prime time, but it'll be all right. And down goes that vent. I'm getting shot by lasers, but I don't care for right now. Let's go a little bit higher. Oh my God, the camera. Now we're literally on top of the beast now. Oh God. Hold up, Black Widow, get back up there. Now it's time to go all the way up to the top and beat these last ones down. Dude. Oh no, I'm dead. I don't even know if the AI is gonna be smart enough to come up here and get me. This might be the end of the video. Come on, AI, don't do this to me. Play with real people. I'm not convinced that real people would save you, FG. Probably not. You know how multiplayer is sometimes. Dude, what a way to end the video. Well, that's the way it's gonna be. Like I said, the game deserves to be in the oven a little bit longer. Like, I know a lot of people are really looking forward to this game. They don't care what condition it comes out in, but I would not be mad if they delayed the game a little longer and released it later. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I would not be mad about that. The game definitely deserves a little bit more time. So we're gonna end the video off on that fitting note. Like I mentioned earlier, I just think the game needs more time. You know, shout out to the developers for really cranking out these last few weeks. They have been cranking out patch after patch, fix after fix. They are in absolute crunch mode, but they shouldn't have to be. Like, why do they have this deadline of only 2 weeks to go before global launch? It really puts them in a terrible position that I just don't think is humanly possible for them to pull off. Like, I literally have no faith that this game that's been in development for years already is magically gonna be everything it needs to be in 2 weeks. I just don't see it. But if you are a massive Marvel fan like myself and you are willing to kind of trudge through the growing pains because the developers have at least shown that they're willing to try their best to listen to community feedback and fix the game as well as they possibly can given the deadlines established by the publishers or whoever else has made the decision, then yeah, give the game a try. But if you pass on it, dude, there's no harm in that. You're probably going to play the game at a discount the way it's supposed to be. Like, if you jump into the game later, you're probably going to get more game for less. So I guess play later, right? All right, so that is it. My name is FG3000. That is Marvel's Avengers. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.